Tony, would you like to introduce
Hi,
yourself?
I'm Tony. My username is Tboni, hence all that. I am an Osteomancer, and much like what people would think with like a necromancer, I actually don't deal with the dead though. Being necro being the root word for dead, and osteo being the root word for bone. So just think of like I'm basically a bone mage.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes, and I forgot. Creature, what episode of the podcast is this?
We're on episode 16 of the Annadelna podcast, interviewing the wonderful Tboni. It's gonna go great. We have our first Osteomancer, aka Bonemancer, aka the one and only, aka Tboni. Um, and so the first question has been asked of who are you? And the second question is, what are your preferred pronouns?
She, they.
She, they. All right.
She, they.
Write that down.
I'm writing it down right now.
Write it down. Get it out. Get it. All right. So you said there was a story behind your name of Tboni.
Yeah, it's actually derived from an old nickname throughout my childhood, and it's actually used to this day too. But my mom would actually call me Tony Boney, and apparently, I think it was like when I was making like a Roblox account, I apparently was using or trying to type that in for my username. Apparently, that was taken, so I just kind of abbreviated it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't. If you're comfortable with it, how old are you?
I am 23.
23.
23.
I heard making a Roblox account, and I went, "Oh no, I'm old."
No. My account is last time I checked, like 15 years old. So
Damn.
All right. So we got the name. Your cats, multiple, plural, or pets? You got pets?
pets, yes.
Pets.
What pets?
They are both actually in the room with me, so if you do hear them in the background, I do apologize in advance.
I would like to hear the animals.
I would like to hear about the animals.
So I'll start with the first one I got there then. Rupi. She's a little black cat. She's actually a little fat black cat. She's very sweet. She just kind of hangs out. She chills out on my bed and sometimes just screams at me, which you may or may not hear throughout the stream. She is actually one of 5 kittens that I helped with rescuing from getting thrown into a creek.
Oh.
Like they were in the creek and you rescued them from it, or they were going to be and you stopped it?
A little bit of both.
Ah.
People are
So
horrible.
basically, excuse me. So basically, what had happened was, we were in our house. One of our dogs was freaking out. One of us went to go investigate, and she was barking at a kitten. The little kitten had gotten out of the creek and came up to our house at the time, and of course, the dog was also a big pit bull, so of course, the tiny kitten was very freaked out.
Hmm.
But she was just being super sweet, trying to play and all that. So we just got the little kitten because we already have a cat before then too. So we just kind of set up like a little box, like a tiny litter box, a little thing of food. He was basically just a little whistleblower because apparently, he chilled out, stopped meowing, all that, and we heard more meowing. So we were like, okay, what's going on? So one kitten turned into 5 kittens.
And you kept
And,
2 of them?
We actually kept all of them. They all went to pretty much everybody in the house except for one. One actually got adopted by my sister-in-law's friend. But there were actually 3 black cats, and this is how I'm actually going to get into the origin of Rupi's name too, because they were so tiny that they were not big enough for collars, but we do have people that knit and crochet, myself included. So we just got like little colored bits of yarn, and there was one that was wearing red, and she fell asleep on me, and I was originally going to name her Ruby, like the gemstone, but I was wearing a Legend of Zelda shirt, so my brother was like, nah, make it Ruby.
That just makes sense.
That's cute.
Okay, so
And
there's... Oh, sorry, continue.
Oh no, you're good. You go ahead.
So there's 4 cats in the home, and you quote unquote own 2 of them.
No, I have one.
Oh,
I have 1 cat and a dog.
oh, I'm interested in the dog actually, because dogs are just better in every way. But you know,
Well, I did definitely grow up with dogs for the most part of my life, but definitely having cats is a bit of a learning curve for me. But they're still pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
that's good.
But little Rufus, I basically just picked up off the side of the road. I was helping out somebody at my school, and as I was leaving on campus, we saw him running around in the parking lot. There were like 7 or 8 people trying to like get his attention and everything. I just got down on one knee. He came right up to me. I picked him up, and he just gave me a little lick on the nose. It's like, "Yep, I'm yours."
And do you have pictures of the animals that you would like to share?
I do, I believe. Give me just 1 second. I can work on sending those if you want to proceed with the next question.
Why stream? Why do you stream?
That's a funny bit. I don't.
What?
Not yet, at least. I do plan on doing so. I want to actually. I keep seeing like little posts where like good artists don't gatekeep, so I definitely want to do like little art tutorials and like show a little bit more of the know-how.
So you pretty much just show up as a collab partner?
For the time being, yeah.
Oh, why?
Because my poor laptop here has been on life support since 2016, and if I were to start streaming, it would just crash.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. How did that kind of thing start of like just showing up on people's streams?
One of my good buddies, Glitched Phantom, actually started streaming, and we were just kind of hanging out in a VC while she was playing, I believe, like either Mario Kart or Smash Brothers. And that's how I ended up meeting actually a whole lot of you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's fair. The images are good.
Oh, the images. Yuppie.
So we'll take a break from the interview to look at images of a good dog and an evil creature. Yeah, that last image where it's on its back, I'm getting a lot of bad vibes from that one.
Nah, she likes belly rubs.
Oh, for evil, of course.
I'll just full screen
Nah.
that.
Old person spotted? Are you meaning me?
Oh, look, cute cat.
There it is. Perfection. Alright. So interesting.
What's interesting?
Existing in the streaming space to the point where I know about you, but you aren't actually a streamer. Do you have a YouTube account set up yet, or are you waiting to do that?
I do actually have one. The fun bit about my model's design, I'm actually going to be going by a different name eventually, but as of right now, I'm still Tboni. But I will go ahead and reveal the name since it's kind of slowly making its way out there anyway.
First time ever hearing it on Annadelna podcast, of course.
My model's name is going to be Dahlia Inkheart.
Dahlia Inkheart. Can you spell Dahlia?
Dahlia.
Oh, okay.
Is it okay if I put that underneath your name?
Sure.
Just so that people
That's
have
fine.
another thing to call you by?
We're just the best to ever do it. Does the character have quote unquote lore yet?
More or less, she does. I would basically say, in the simplest terms, in like the TLDR, my whole character is basically like imposter syndrome personified.
In what way?
Basically, for the lore, I basically went to a body bank. I went into what's kind of a crypt and found like this quote unquote corpse, which wasn't a corpse, it was just chilling. And I just approached it. It screamed at me, and I swapped bodies, and I'm now an Osteomancer. So I'm still trying to figure out my abilities. I'm not like the greatest at manipulating bones, but I am getting there.
There you go.
God. Can I keep asking about this?
Sure.
Okay. So like your mind was in a regular person, and then you went to a crypt or something and switched bodies.
Basically,
So there's
so you know, go ahead.
so there's just something with your face running around.
Basically, yep.
Is that worrying at all, or?
Not necessarily. I was kind of going through like the library in this domain, basically, and in the notes, I'm basically just stuck with a curse that somebody just got tired of, so they just wanted to live a normal life, and now here I am.
That's fair. So magic is tied to the body you're in, not the soul or consciousness or whatever you want to call that?
Pretty much, yeah.
I mean, hey, that sounds like a trade up to me, but you know, I'm sure the life before that point was good, so it's probably an equal or whatever.
Kinda. It's just the curse is basically like a disease from the notes that I'm kind of looking at here. So I think they just got tired of trying to work on the cure for the disease, and now I guess I just put it onto me.
All right, that makes sense.
Call that equivalent exchange.
Yeah.
So are there any inspirations for the content that you're looking to make?
There's actually a good variety. Like, are you talking about like the model or like what I do?
All of it.
Okay, so in terms of the model, I beforehand was just gonna draw myself, like just plain Jane, me, Tony, all that. But I actually managed to get my foot in the door and started working on doing a lot of art for a good chunk of skeleton VTubers. Because my weird flex is that I can draw a fully anatomical human skeleton from memory.
That's a pretty good flex.
That is a pretty good flex.
And that's actually kind of how I managed to meet my buddy Ricky. And his full screen name is Ricky T. Bones, and that's how that came along.
Oh.
I actually managed to help him out with getting a whole new model, a whole new like PNG, everything there. I actually made a good few emotes too, which unfortunately he does not have the what is it called on YouTube, like the requirements on it. Yeah, he had it on Twitch for a while, so I can actually see if I can find those and see if I can share some of those.
Okay. So the inspiration for your model is skeletons and working in the skeleton VTuber community? Basically, yeah. And any, like, what's your plans for content-wise, and are there any inspirations behind that?
I'm gonna admit I am a unapologetic Zelda and Pokemon fan, so I was kind of thinking about sprinkling in some of that alongside with some art content, and maybe even dabble in a few new games too.
The images were sent.
Oh.
Legend of Zelda and what else? I'm sorry.
Pokemon.
Legend of Zelda and Pokemon. Like, how do you like to play Pokemon?
I at the moment have just been sticking to like most of the console games. I'm sort of limited to just the Switch now, but I am pretty much up to date with all the lore that's going on.
Hey, fair enough. For me, the only way that I really have fun with Pokemon is by doing like quote-unquote challenge runs, where we go through like the different generations and we pick one typing that we run through the game with. So like beating one game with only steel types. So are you a challenge kind of person, or?
I would love to try one. I can't say that like I've actively done one though.
How do you feel about Nuzlocke?
Terrified.
Hey, that's the fun.
I've never tried one. I would love to try one whenever I do start streaming though.
And have you ever played Pokerogue?
I have actually.
How do you feel about it?
It feels awesome, actually.
Hey, that's good to hear.
Speaking of Nuzlocke, have you ever heard of a soul lock?
I have.
I've been wanting to do one. A soul lock. So it's basically two people doing a Nuzlocke together, and the Pokemon that they catch on in their respective games on the same route are connected to each other.
So basically, if you and I are playing the same game, and I say, like, you have a... okay, what's a basic bird Pokemon? Like, you have a Spearow and I have a Rattata. If my Rattata just so happens to die, like, spontaneously, yours is just marked out, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I've seen a couple of people do those, and I thought they're neat. So, if you ever get the hankering to do that, just let me know.
Oh yeah, I would definitely be down.
So
I would definitely need to find a way to get, like, a capture card and stream my Switch, at least.
Hey, you can get a basic capture card for like $40-$50, so that's what I use.
Mm-hmm.
Which was actually a gift from my brother, but yeah. I can find the specifics for it and send it to you, because it works pretty well.
Yeah, I'd be down for it.
Yeah.
I definitely do want to start building up, like, a little wish list of things to do, because, my sister-in-law actually managed to build, like, brand new PCs for her and my brother, so I'm like, okay, what if I just get, like, the money and I just kind of send it to you and you build me a PC? She's so down.
Yeah. Building PCs are typically cheaper. I'm not too very knowledgeable about it, but my husband and his father built my PC, and that was, what, like 5 years ago?
7 years.
I moved here 7 years ago.
It's like 6 years ago.
Yeah, like 6 years ago. And it works pretty well.
Hey, I mean, if it works, it works.
It only lit on fire 3 times.
Oh, yeah, I remember hearing about that.
Yeah. It was a bad week.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the content, ideas, and inspirations for the Pokemon is challenge runs and just kind of having fun with Pokemon. What's the plan for Legend of Zelda stuff?
Honestly, to put it in the simplest way possible, hyperfixation go burr. I am also, like, a pretty pronounced completionist too. I actually just got Hyrule Warriors after, like, the 3rd time playing it again, and I've, like, halfway through with most of the story and items and everything.
I love Hyrule Warriors.
All right. And was there any other content that you were looking forward to making?
I definitely want to try to at least lean more towards, like, doing some work streams, like, where I kind of... It's not so much the how I do it, but, like, what I do as well. And maybe I could see about talking to some people through, like, what I'm doing and what I'm thinking while I'm doing it.
Fair enough. All right.
Very respectable.
How did you meet Annadelna, the Dampire VTuber, the internet's favorite Dompier?
I believe, to the best of my recollection, we met through Glitch Phantom, and I believe it was for, like, Mario Party?
I think so, yeah.
VTubers in your Mario Party. It's always
We love Mario Party.
All right. Oh god, I can't ask why do you. Why do you want to stream?
Honestly, why not? It sounds fun. I do like the ability to try and connect with people, and again, I would love to try to put out more knowledge in the art world, because a lot of the art tutorials I have seen lately are more intermediate and advanced level tutorials, and not a lot of people do a whole lot of, like, basics and beginnings for people.
So your like, quote unquote goals or reasons for streaming are: number 1, why not? Number 2, you want to be a really smooth on-ramp into the art that you enjoy for other people. And number 3, like, how do you feel about building a community? Like, are you looking forward to making a Discord and having people join it and go like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm in Tboni's Discord?
That does sound exciting. I don't have the most experience with making a server, but I wouldn't mind dabbling into it.
Okay. It's one of my favorite questions in these interviews for streamers is how do you feel about like a community and how much do you care about building a community? And so just to give some ideas, because for some reason I said I would do this in every interview and I don't know why. The answers for everyone else in the oh god, I think I'm dying. Okay.
Please tell me you have some water or something handy.
Okay, I'm a human again. All right. So for
You mean a slime?
so for the question of what do you think of having a community? For Sacred's Hearts, their whole reason for being a YouTube channel is to build a community that people can feel safe and at home in. And so if things go bad, you can like look at the Sacred's Heart Discord and kind of feel safe and welcome there. For Tony the Pinguino, the community just kind of happens. He wants to make content, and if people show up, that's great. If they don't, he doesn't care. He just likes having a backlog of content that he can look back on and feel good about. Sky, the community for them is like backup singers. Like they make content and then the community makes the content better. So having a bigger community is better, but it's not the main focus like it is for Sacreds. For Glitched, the community is fun. They're just kind of like Phantom really likes to have a disconnect between the content creator, the content, and the fans. The fans are there to enjoy the content, and the content creator creates the content, and she doesn't really want a connection between the content creator and the fans. She just wants that in between of the content for the people to enjoy. So how do you feel about the idea of like having a community, and like do you have big plans for it or blah 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 blah?
I would say I'm kind of like a weird mixture of all the above, plus my own little twist. Because I do want my own community to feel like it's a little safe space for everybody, and I do also want to take it, somewhat seriously. Because if I do go into the art direction that I want to, I do want it to be like an educational space as well.
You want a channel on your Discord called like newbie art, where people send you stick drawings and go, look at this, I was inspired by you, isn't it beautiful? And you can take a picture of your fridge where you have all of people's first art hanging up.
Oh man, now I gotta have an idea for like, I have like a little fridge in my background, whether it be like a stream background, or shoot, if I do end up having like an IRL camera, I have like a little cardboard fridge that, oh god, what's his name?
There is no fridge. I lied.
Yeah, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm here for. Every interview, I want you to leave with like 1 or 2 good ideas that I forced upon you, so that I can say that I own all your content now. But that's not important. Yeah.
Without knowing, I'm signing a contract here.
No. Of course not. It's written in slime, so you can't even read it. It's not important.
You already signed the contract by being on the podcast.
It's written in slime, so you can't even read it, so it's not even that important. When you have a community, what are you going to call them? Like, for Anna, they're all the rats, and they're rat royalty, and they're vampire rats. What do you want to call your community when you get one?
Sugar Skulls.
One more time?
Sugar Skulls.
Sugar Skulls.
Sugar Skulls. What does that mean to you?
So, another weird fun fact about me, even though, like, my model is kind of, like, loosely based off me, at least in terms of, like, my complexion and my base hair color, but just because I'm practically so white I'm see-through, I'm also half Mexican. And one big thing about that is El Dia de los Muertos, which is the Day of the Dead. Which with my weird hyperfixation with skeletons and everything too, I felt like Sugar Skulls would be like a small like homage to that.
What's the connection with the Sugar Skulls? Like, what's the sugar part of it?
You haven't seen?
Hopefully my community is going to end up being a sweet one.
He doesn't know what Sugar Skulls are.
Subliminal messaging. Yeah, I have no idea what a Sugar Skull is, if that's an actual thing.
They're typically like a little decoration that you set up on an ofrenda, which can represent like some of your loved ones. You set that up around with some flowers and candles, along with like a huge, like it almost looks like an altar, just to put it simply. But it's like an altar dedicated to your family and your deceased loved ones.
And the
Alright.
scrolls are sometimes like slightly bedazzled, I believe.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're little skulls made entirely out of sugar, and some people will do like little bits of icing to, like, kind of add like little patterns and
Yeah.
whatnot on them.
Oh my god. What if you had a thing where, okay, listen, another free idea for you. You didn't sign a contract, it's fine. Like, so everyone gets their own sugar skull. So in your Discord, you have people draw their own skull, and like for every month they're a follower of you or something, they get to add little decorations every time. So you start with the plain skull that you draw, and then you get to add one like little bedazzled or whatever you want to it.
Hmm. You know, that actually sounds really neat.
And if they give you money, then of course they get more bedazzled.
Well, I did have an idea with you see the little pendant on the neck, like right by my collar?
Uh-huh.
I was kind of thinking about having that as like either different colors, or maybe even have the skull itself go from like plain to silver, gold, platinum, so on and so forth.
Ooh. Hey, listen, my ideas are also bad, so you can just say they're bad. It's fine.
Your
No,
ideas
it's
are
not a bad
bad.
idea at all, though. Well,
Listen, all right? I just want to be as extreme as possible so you never feel bad about saying you don't want to do something.
mhm.
All right. What do you... Oh, God.
Yes.
My questions are very, like, direct, so having to plan them around someone who isn't streaming but is planning to is fun for me, because I have to think about how
that's
to ask
fine.
the question. What do you think you're going to enjoy the most about streaming?
You know, there's multiple aspects that I've been thinking about it. It's like I would love trying to build a community. I would love, having somebody kind of having that aha moment too whenever, they make a little what's it called, like a little, like a eureka with their
Mhm.
art too, and they realize like, oh hey, I can go about it this way.
Mhm.
And it's just being able to teach people and at least just, make their day a little better too. I feel like that would be an amazing thing.
Hmm.
All right. And now, is there anything that you're scared about starting streaming?
Honestly, building a massive community like overnight, like honestly, I remember seeing the analogy of like, oh hey, I may have like 50 subscribers, which is tiny in terms of the big leagues and all that, but honestly, if 50 people just walked into my room right now, I would probably shit myself, to put it
Fair.
bluntly.
Oh god, how do I speak this into existence? There's a concept of like you want to build up your community slowly, no matter how quote unquote bad that feels, because then everyone who's joining is your people, the people who are seeing your content enjoy it, and they're kind of like adding to the collective of your content in your community. The scary thing that can happen is you have one video really blow up, and instead of building your community, you have now been absorbed by a different community who wants things from you that you don't want to give. And that's a scary
Literally.
thought, yeah.
Yeah, like I want to be seen as, obviously there's no such thing as an original thought, but I do want to be seen as, at least something that's somewhat original and like I can be my own brand.
Yeah, I can see that. Alright. Anything else scary about starting streaming, or is that everything?
From the top of my head, I think I can do it. It's just especially like right now too, I realize I will stutter really hard if I don't like pause for like even milliseconds. I feel like I'll stutter so hard I'll just have to shut up for the rest of the stream.
That's a mood.
You answered the question of why you have the name Tboni. Is that also the answer of why you really like skeletons and stuff? Just a Dios de los Muertes inspiration?
Dia de los Muertos.
Muertos.
It's that along with I have a relative who's actually my mother. She was still is a nursing instructor.
Oh.
And a good bit of that was I was helping her out with a lot of like anatomy books and all that stuff too, because whenever she went into the field, she had a lot of like basically hand-me-down like notes and tests and all that stuff. So the visual quality of everything was not exactly the greatest. So because of that, I had to, well, didn't have to, but I decided to help out with like redrawing a lot of anatomy things, and most of them were just skeletons.
Fair enough. God. How do you feel about streamer bait games like Repo, Lethal Company, Among Us, the games that come out and then suddenly every streamer everywhere is playing them?
I honestly think they're okay as long as everybody's having fun with it, like genuinely having fun with it, rather than being like, "Oh, whoa, look at this!" Like they're obviously faking it.
The only I have a lot of problems with streamer bait games. The cost of trying to keep up with the interests of everyone around you, the concept of like having to quote unquote fake having fun so that you can try to follow trends. But then also the biggest problem is whenever it's a like player versus player game like Among Us, the co-op games are better, like Repo and stuff like that. But the second that it's open to like just random people joining in, 9 times out of 10 it's 5-year-olds, and that scares me so bad.
Yeah, like another thing is too, like certain games, especially with Switch 2 coming out, a lot of games are going to be very expensive too.
Yeah.
So trying to stay on top of everything is going to be a little rough.
That's why I really like the indie games, because they're like $5 to $20 typically.
The scary part about a lot of the indie streamer bait games is they come out, they have this huge explosion the second they come out. The people who made the game go, "We made our money," and then just never update the game, even though you're quote unquote buying the promise of like a year-long updating game, and they just kind of go, we're done here. Like,
yeah, basically, like
that happened with
once
Lethal
they get that
Company
paycheck, I've seen a lot of people just kind of stop caring.
Yeah, it happened with Lethal Company and Content Warning, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the other one I was trying to think of. Didn't they say they were gonna do more with Buckshot Roulette as well?
Buckshot Roulette was a streamer bait game?
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh yeah, it was definitely, especially since Markiplier played it and a few other like bigger YouTubers.
The Buckshot Roulette multiplayer thing never grabbed my interest, but the single player was definitely fun. Mostly because I love gambling, but I don't think that's like intentional on their part.
Let's go gambling.
Alright. Were you a part of any fandoms growing up or now?
I will definitely say I was kind of like one of the silent members when it comes to being parts of fandoms. Like, I would enjoy without saying anything.
Which ones?
Definitely a good few anime ones. A lot of like notable ones being definitely Dragon Ball Z, Hunter x Hunter. Definitely a lot of Legend of Zelda, a lot of Pokemon. Trying to think about some more other things.
Were you on Tumblr?
I was, but I wasn't.
I need to find my people. There need to be more Tumblr people. I loved Tumblr. I was a huge Tumblrite back in the day. I know where you got those shoelaces. They're from the president.
What?
Don't worry about it.
I have a Tumblr account. I literally have used it once, went, "This is too confusing," and never touched it again.
That's fair. I had a Tumblr account, then it got sold to Yahoo, so I stopped using it. And then I decided to delete all of my social media because it was rotting my brain, so I no longer have a Tumblr account.
That's also very fair.
I had a Tumblr account once upon a time, and it was just really sad being on there, so I stopped using it.
What's your favorite Legend of Zelda game?
Ooh, that is a hard one there, because it kind of fluctuates honestly depending on what I'm doing. I would say I would say it definitely switches between Minish Cap, Twilight
Based.
Princess, and Wind Waker.
Based.
That's weird. The best game isn't on that list.
I swear to God.
Breath of the Wild is truly the most perfect game ever created. Yet no one
That's
who
alright.
likes Legend of Zelda puts it as their #1 game. That's so strange.
Breath of the Wild as a Zelda game is like a 3 out of 10. As an open world game, I'd give it maybe like a 7.
Yeah, as a Zelda game in terms of like formulas and all that, like the typical Zelda formula, it's okay. It could be better.
Yeah.
But in terms of like overworld exploration and all that, it definitely makes the cut there.
If Breath of the Wild didn't have the durability system, I think it would be perfect. That's all I'm saying.
I'm thinking like rather than grabbing weapons from everybody, you have like a limited inventory and you go and find or unlock these weapons.
Yeah.
They stay in your inventory and they just start off like very weak. Like maybe you do like 1 point of damage, for example, in like a Bokoblin, but you can go and upgrade it with your materials.
And then it could also be a concept of like you have less. You don't have like 20 variations of a longsword. You just have one longsword. But longswords are good against like the lizards and the bokoblins, and then spears are good
Mhm.
against different things. And you can have like
And you can
different
have
weapon
skins.
types.
And you can have them like completely customizable.
Yeah.
We need to make the brand new Breath of the Wild but better. I think this works out perfectly. There'll be a bunch
Yeah.
of skeletons in it. Don't ask about that part.
No.
I mean, I like the skeleton arm in Breath of the Wild because it keeps grabbing Link's ass.
Oh my god, yeah, it's so hilarious. And like it's just moving a lot in all the cutscenes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
You can
God.
even hear it too.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We'll stop talking about the best Legend of Zelda game. We'll talk about your favorites.
We weren't talking about Twilight Princess.
So Minish Cap. What's that one?
Minish Cap is your best friend in Zelda, and you go to a festival, and in that festival there's also like a sword fighting competition that Link unfortunately is not a part of, but there's this evil villain called Vati who wins it, and he goes for the grand prize being the Picori sword, which is sealed in a chest. He actually opens the chest and there were a bunch of evil spirits in it too, so that's how he ended up trying to find the light force. Failed miserably at finding it. However, when you go throughout the game later, because Zelda actually ends up being turned to stone while Vati like attacks the castle. And as you're going throughout the game, Vati realizes that the light force is actually in Zelda. So you're returning back, and your buddy, your companion is also your hat. Said hat can make you turn into the size of an ant. It's very fun. It's a very nice mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the one where you like go into walls and stuff?
No, that's a Link Between Worlds.
Oh.
Well, that one.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, there's cracks in the floor and in houses and stuff, and you can go in there. But I think
Yeah.
you're thinking of...
I was thinking of the 2D one. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
become
you-
2D against.
yeah,
the
you
wall.
become 2D against the wall. Yeah, that's Link Between Worlds. Which,
Oh.
honestly,
That's
isn't that
also
bad of a
fun.
game.
What were your
Yeah,
other
Yugo-
choices? Sorry.
Yuga was an interesting one.
Mhm.
Wind Waker was one of them. Boat Goes Binted.
That's true. That's
Can
true.
I just say, original Wind Waker was fine. The sailing was annoying. The HD remake made it way better.
It did, actually. Back when I was with other family members, my brother had a Wii U, and I could not even tell you the amount of times I literally played and beat that game 100% every
Mhm.
time. I would say at least 20. 20
Yeah.
times.
I really
So I
like the
would
parry
definitely-
system in it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's very nice. So I will definitely say if I were to get the Switch 2, it would definitely be for that. And if I start streaming it too, that's going to be very fun because I know a lot of the ins and outs of it unless they add even more features to it, which I would not be opposed to exploring.
Hmm.
Have you seen those Skyward Sword randomizer videos?
I have seen like little bits and pieces of them.
I like randomizers.
I would love to try them out. I do have Skyward Sword as well. Girahim, best boy. I will say this shamelessly.
Who?
Girahim, he was
Yeah.
Demise's sword.
Oh.
He was the flamboyant one that tries to lick Link
Oh.
with a really long tongue.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
He's like the best. He's like the best. What is it? Second villain. Like, he's not the main villain.
The secondary antagonist.
Okay.
I almost said deuteragonist, but isn't that secondary protagonist?
Deuteragonist is when there are two protagonists.
Yeah, so that's not the right word.
Ah.
I haven't tried a randomizer Skyward Sword though.
What?
I haven't either. I wouldn't mind trying it though.
Huh?
What game were you playing? It's the one where you turn into the wolf, right?
Yeah, that's Twilight
That
Princess.
is Twilight Princess.
I love watching you do that because every time I see you playing it, you go, "Oh, this run's dead. They locked something behind something I can't get to, so I just can't play the game anymore."
Yeah.
I've never seen you make it farther than like an hour before you go, "Oh, run's dead."
There was one where I got like 5 hours into it, but yeah. A big issue is when you try and do key sanity, because you have to be able to do a lot of the glitches to be able to get to some of the chests, and I'm not very good at them.
Yeah, a lot of people definitely say Midna's like the best companion in it, in like all of Zelda. But I'm like, yeah, she's alright.
She had a really great change. Like, her story was really good.
Mhm.
But honestly, I think the best companion would probably be either Navi or Tattle.
My favorite is Fee, by the way.
Of course.
I fucking love Fi.
I love her too. She is very cool.
Yeah.
It's not Fee.
You can,
Yeah,
I think you
it's
can pronounce it either way, but
You can pronounce it either way. It's just in Hyrule Warriors, it's pronounced Fi. So
Yeah.
I'm just kind of stuck with that.
all of the companions that people say are annoying, I don't find them annoying. Because, like, Navi, she says, hey, listen, she's reminding you of what the quest is, and it's not that often. She tells it to you, like, a minute or two after you load the game back up, and then it's, like, once every 30 minutes or hour. It's not that often.
I still love how in Hyrule Warriors they brought that little meme with Proxy as well, because Proxy's the name of the fairy in that too.
Have you played all the characters in Hyrule Warriors?
I have.
Who's your favorite? Or like top three?
Oh, okay. Let me think off the top of my head.
Do you remember my
Zant?
No. Huh?
Zant?
Santa's fun.
Link, but with the spinner,
Mm.
and then Fi.
Oh, okay. Mine are Zelda with the rapier.
Mm-hmm.
I just love how fast she is. I like Twilight Midna just because she uses all of the different warp stuff. So she uses the bridge, the cannon. I think that's really cool. And Young Link.
Oh, Young Link is really good too. I would have to add, if that was a top 5, I'd probably have to add him and Girahim, just mainly because I like a lot of the gimmicky characters too.
Yeah. He likes Agatha.
I love Agatha. It's Agatha, Mask Kid? Is he called
Young
something
Link?
else?
Skull Kid?
Skull Kid.
Skull Kid. Oh yeah, Skull Kid is cool.
How do you guys feel about the like super mask Link where you're worthless and then you get your super form and then
Yeah,
you
that's
just kill
Young Link.
everything? That's the
that's
Young
Young
Link?
Link.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Love
this returns his
Young Link.
Fierce Deity.
I thought there was a
Fierce
different Young
Deity is
Link
so
that was
cool.
like actually usable outside of Majora. Or Fierce
Also,
Deity.
can I just say-
There's Link with a bunch of different weapons, Young Link, Toon Link.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's another one.
No, it's just those 3.
Okay.
Can I just say, fuck Tingle?
God, my friend loved playing as him, and he was so obnoxious. I hate how he just goes hop, 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 hop as he runs.
Oh my god, he's so annoying.
That's the whole
I'm
point
like-
of him.
Throughout the whole franchise too, he's just such an annoying character. I remember playing Four Swords, where like the currency is like these little big triangle pieces,
Mhm.
especially like the massive one. He There was one that was like really hard to grab, and he would snatch it every time.
Yeah. We need to play Four Swords Adventures. God, I hope the Four Swords Adventures is on the Switch too for the GameCube
I hope
emulator.
so.
They're really lacking on the emulators though.
Right?
Like, they make this big deal of them, and it's like, hey, play all these super popular games, and then here's a couple of obscure games.
Mm-hmm. Also, since you are on my family plan and all that stuff, if I do have some games, or may not have some games that you are interested in playing with the virtual card share thing, just do let me know whenever they do that update.
I don't know when we will be able to afford a Switch 2, but I will definitely let you know.
Well, even just on the regular Switch, I think they were saying that was going to come out.
Huh.
Like, let me
Yeah.
pull up my Switch. Because I have Hades, Slime Rancher, I have Mario Kart, and a couple of other like digital games too that I would not mind sharing.
Got some digital games and some that you might be interested in. Because you need to play the Xenoblade series. I just don't have 2, but it's a bad game, so...
I remember you saying that it's basically just horny bait.
It is just horny bait. What's up, love?
I'm agreeing. I'm just saying, what else is there to say?
Mm-hmm.
What else is there? I'm agreeing. What's the Legend of Zelda Hyrule Warriors game where you have the little, like, Breath of the Wild robot with you?
Age of Calamity.
Age of Calamity, yeah.
And his name is Takeo.
Did you guys play that?
I have not.
I did.
I played the demo.
Is it
I
better
played
or
it.
worse than Hyrule Warriors?
It's... Honestly, it's similar in gameplay to an extent, and then it kind of turns into its own.
Is it a Warriors game?
Yeah, it is a Warriors game.
Oh, okay.
It's just when it comes to like a lot of the leveling and the upgrades and everything, it's a bit different.
I wonder if they Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. That one looks like fun.
Because basically the whole hub for like seeing what battles you need to go to, what's next, what to do after, it's so much different compared to the regular Hyrule Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
It didn't really catch my attention, but I'm sure it was fine as a game.
Is it canon to Tears of the Kingdom?
Yes and no. It's kind of like a second universe.
Oh.
It takes place while Link is asleep before all the shit hits the fan.
Oh, it's a prequel to Breath of the Wild?
It does not actually. It's basically like a second universe.
Yeah,
Where
so
they experience the calamity, but there's a whole time rift where... Do you guys mind spoilers?
Oh, please.
yeah, go for it.
Please.
Basically where all the champions are about to die from all of their blight Ganons. All of the champions from the future ended up getting warped back to that era to help them out and survive.
I thought it was just the robot that got warped back, because what I remember, which could obviously be wrong, was everyone was about to die, so they send the robot back in time to help Zelda and all the champions become stronger to face the blights when they come back.
So, kinda. It's kind of a mix of all the above, because it's basically Teko is a mini Guardian time machine. There's
game.
2 iterations of him in that Hyrule Warriors, because one actually gets possessed by Calamity Ganon, for example, and it's just like a big goopy Guardian.
I just have one question about this game.
Mhm.
Is Agatha in it?
She is not. It's all
0
Breath of the
out of
Wild
10.
characters.
0
Yeah.
out of 10, the worst game I've ever heard of.
There's
No.
a smaller roster in it from what I remember. Because there's like
They've
champions.
added a few others.
there's like
too.
the champions, and then there's like characters that are like a powered up version of them.
Because there's the Yiga clan people. There's also like Robbie and Purah as well. That's how I was like not surprised that Purah looks more mature compared to Breath of the Wild and in Tears of the Kingdom, because they already showed her in Age of Calamity.
Yeah, but no one played Age of Calamity.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, why is everybody just so suddenly horny for her when she's already been around?
I think that one guy that called her mommy is responsible for that. You're a 30-year-old man.
He's not allowed to have fun. We have to stop talking about that.
Talking about what?
We can't bring that up anymore.
Okay.
Oh God, like speaking of mommy, apparently like a lot of people would definitely just stick around for the voice that I've got.
Fair.
And I'm like, oh no. Because Ricky has even told me, like, there's apparently a lot of people that would pay to just listen to me, like, say certain things. I'm like, why?
Hey, that's fair. If
I
you've
hope-
got a good voice,
I
use
hope
that to your
voice
advantage.
acting career takes off.
Ow.
What was that?
I hope your voice acting career takes off.
Oh God. I
You'll
hope
probably
so.
have better luck than mine.
Incorrect.
Nah.
Incorrect. She's actually gonna take over the voice acting thing. I'm trying to get her to do like comic like dubs so that she can get the practice of actually doing voice acting rather than the only time she voice acts is when she's sending in the like interview things for voice acting positions.
Oh yeah, because that's with Valentine too. Because that's actually how I got that little server sent over to her too.
Yeah, I applied to a bunch of the things that they had going on there, and they were like, yeah, we don't want, like, completely new people. We want people that have a little bit of experience, and I thought that was really ironic.
Yeah, because the whole point of it is for new people to get experience. So I may need to see about talking to Val about that.
Yeah, because I don't remember what one specifically I applied to, but yeah, I got told no multiple times, so.
Mhm.
It's all about the grind. It's all about the work ethic.
Yeah.
You gotta wake up at 3 a.m., slam your face into a bowl of iced sparkling water,
Well-
spend 10 minutes floating over a pool before you enter it.
Jesus Christ. I would do comic dubs. I just don't really know many comics that I could do dubs for, because I don't really read comics. I mostly just
if it
read
helps,
manhwa.
I'm actually working on developing a storyline for a webtoon, which
Ooh.
may or may come to start being in like a few months, maybe a year, if things go right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down. One of the people in Glitched Phantoms communities is working on a story, and they asked me to do a voice for it, so... They gave me a couple of options, and the one that seemed best was... It was either main character's love interest, main character's... Or a person that is obsessed with the main character, or the main character's mom, so I just went with the mom. So...
Yeah, because I'm thinking in terms of like voice acting, you know, like, I'm gonna be like pretty laissez-faire, like let people like do what they want with it. I'll just be hands off. I just make the story kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
You can take the source and dub it however you want to. We may or may not be working on an official dub along with it, but by all means, if you want to take a crack at it, do it.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
I'm
there
looking
hasn't
for as
been
many
any...
opportunities as I can. Sorry, go ahead, love.
No, continue.
I was just going to say, I'm looking for as many opportunities as I can, because I don't really know how to start and what to do. Because I don't really know how it works with, like, if you have to ask people's permission to dub, and, like, there's a lot of really popular ones.
From what I've seen, it definitely depends on the series and its creator.
Yeah.
Like, it's definitely not a one, like, cookie cutter rule set there.
Yeah.
Kind of like how with a lot of, sorry, I'm kind of moving around a little bit. But kind of like how with a lot of, like, DMCA music and all that stuff. Like, Toby Fox is perfectly fine with you using a lot of his music, as long as you're not using it for, like, advertisement purposes. However, if you end up getting, like, copyright stricken, you can fight it, so long as you're not actually using it for an ad.
Yeah.
In my personal opinion about the comic dub thing, the correct answer for every form of this kind of question is always going to be reach out to the person. If they don't respond to you, they're automatically saying no, and then you just move on from there. But in the real world, where we have to worry about real things that are happening, my answer is generally going to be make sure that they're credited at the top of the description so that someone doesn't have to click open more in order to see it. Make sure that either at the beginning of the video or as soon as you finish speaking the end of the video, there is a huge thing with like their @ where you can find the art and that kind of thing. And then if the person finds it and says, hey, I don't like you having this up, take it down immediately.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, that's definitely the respectful way to do about it too. Like, always give credit where credit is due, and always respect the person that makes the original work too.
And of course, if they have in their profile, like, I do not want other people using my art for anything ever, then yeah, of course, never do that.
Yeah.
It depends on what art I am doing. Like, if it's something like specifically for my brand, probably not. Unless, there's specific permission, like, oh, hey, we're doing a little interview here, you can use my art, Like, there are exceptions and whatnot.
I was thinking starting off, I wasn't thinking of, like, reading manga panels or, like known webtoons or anything like that. You're not going to read Solo Leveling. I was thinking of doing, like, finding cute little 3-panel comics on, like, Twitter, and then just doing those and making a short about it and just getting into the flow of trying to do, like, a voice acting quote-unquote challenge every day, trying to make your voice fit the character.
Merryweather comics.
We're gonna, do you want that to be a thing that you say online or no? All right, we'll just move on and say nothing about it.
I have my own opinions on Merryweather, but I'd be fine with giving it a shot. I just feel like a lot of their stuff is very not clickbait. There is a lot of horny bait.
Yeah, there is a good bit, but he seems like a pretty chill person though. Like, I've tuned into a couple of his streams and all that. It's definitely not for everyone.
Yeah. So I might pick and choose some. I'd have to see how they feel about people doing dubs, but
I mean, if you go anywhere on the internet, you're gonna find 1,000 dubs of all of their stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've had enough fun. As I said, no fun allowed in the interview. We're going back to the interview now. There hasn't been any controversy in this yet. You guys just kind of accepted me saying Breath of the Wild was the best game, so we didn't get to fight about that. And I need a fight so that we can clickbait it or whatever.
Okay.
What games do you dislike? What games have you played and went, ew, this sucks?
Oh, okay. So,
what's your favorite game?
Mine?
His.
No. We'll just let this be an open field for picking your least favorite game.
What's a good big game that I did not like? Hang on, let me go walk over here and check my stuff real quick. Let's take my headset off, but you guys can hear me. I just cannot hear you.
Oh my god. We could be saying anything right now.
We could be saying anything right now.
We're casting spells.
We love and appreciate Tboni. You will never know.
So I got a couple that I could probably name off. I now have headset back on, but
Halo 1, 2, and 3.
Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl would probably be like one of the more obvious ones, just because it's very scuffed, very rushed. I'm kind of thinking Smash Brothers Ultimate, like, out of what I have right now.
Damn.
Like, yes, it's a good opportunity to play like a good fighting game and all that, but I kind of have a bit of a background. Somebody that I knew got like really toxic and really like kind of manipulative when it comes to like playing the game, and it was like only their rules, only no fun allowed.
Box only, no items, final destination.
I mean, I'd be fine with that as long as, we can mix in a couple other things too, because it's just, at that point, it's just the exact same thing all the time.
If you want to play a quote-unquote real fighting game, don't play Smash Brothers.
Yeah, I also used to play Dragon Ball FighterZ.
Oh! What was your team?
Cell, Hit, and Zamasu.
No!
Wait, no.
You're objectively correct! I can't even fight with you about it! Zamasu is my favorite Dragon Ball character. I fucking love
Zamasu. Did nothing wrong.
That's so true! In a world with Roshi in it, killing all mortals just makes sense.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the games that you dislike are Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, and Smash Brothers, the newest one?
That I can think of at the moment, just off the top of my head.
Are you a big fan of the older Smash Brothers?
I absolutely loved Brawl. I really like the storyline with it. I wish they did a whole lot better with the one in Ultimate.
There was a story in Ultimate? I thought it was just kind of like a Mario Party thing.
The World of Light?
Yeah.
Subspace Emissary was amazing. It was so good.
It was amazing.
And then in Smash 4, they decided no story.
And then Ultimate, they're like, maybe story.
Maybe. We gotta give some love to Kerbo.
Who are your characters in Smash Brothers?
I have a good handful. Piranha Plant, Inkling, Sephiroth would probably be my more notable ones. I've been dabbling a little bit in Bowser.
Bowser's a good choice.
And back then, before like any of the newer characters came out, I was a hardcore Link main.
Oh yeah. Link is always a good choice to play.
Yeah, you know, go figure, you know, the Zelda fan picks Link.
I mean, I've been playing Link in every Smash game since 64, but I just wasn't that big a fan of his redesign for Smash Ultimate. And, and young Link did not scratch the itch that I wanted.
Yeah. I remember dabbling a lot in Brawl. Like, that was one of the more notable Smash Brothers that I remember playing. It was Link and Lucario that I was really good at. Of course, you know, with Subspace Emissary, you have to play, like, basically every character, so you kind of learn how everybody works. And I remember, I have a map that I still have on Smash Ultimate because I remade it. It's basically just like Hell in a Cell. And the general rule is if you get knocked around and your health hits 999, you basically just SD. However, if there is one hole that you can fall through, and if you fall through that hole, it's still fair game.
I love
because it's
the custom map.
Just a hole at the top.
Behavior.
So I'll have to definitely show it to you at some point. It's a very long match, but it's still a fairly fun one.
So you're a zoner? You like zoning characters? You like shooting people from far away and then when they're high percentage running up and doing a really fast attack to kill them?
Kinda.
Gross.
And like, were you looking at a lot of the characters I named?
Yes. Yeah. The
well,
first
Bowser's
three
just a
characters you
bruiser.
named, yeah, the first three characters you named were all zoners. Then you said Bowser, and I was like, it kind of still counts, so I still get my points. And then you said in the other game you liked Link and Lucario, yeah, zoner.
Okay, so I'm basically just a textbook zoner. I'm fine with that.
I mean, I kind of like a mix of different characters.
You like Shulk.
I do like Shulk.
You like any sword user.
I do like the sword users. Shulk, Marth, Robin is a lot of fun.
Ooh, yeah.
I can't play Inkling online, though. There's too much delay.
Yeah, it do get a little rough. It's just a lot of adjustments for it. I remember starting off, because there were so many characters, I made like a general rule. I only played purple characters.
One day we'll get Waluigi.
Why?
Oh yeah, also, Banjo-Kazooie. I love Banjo-Kazooie.
But yeah, like, in terms of like the color theme too, one weird fun fact, I actually don't have a favorite color.
I would have guessed it was purple.
Yeah, it's mainly because I had a purple jacket that I would wear like throughout like almost all of school, just because I was very cold a lot, and it was kind of like my comfort too. So a lot of people just associated me with purple, so it's like, okay, I guess this is my brand now.
You'll never guess what my favorite color is.
I wonder.
It's red, by the way, in case you're curious.
Yeah,
No.
I was gonna like guess the opposite. I was like, it's totally green, right?
Green is my second favorite color.
Oh, okay. Oh, so Christmas.
Can you guess what his favorite color is?
I don't know. It just might be yellow.
Oh my god!
You know, fun fact. I'm just gonna put him on blast.
No.
His favorite color. When we first got together, he said it was silver. Then he said it was blue. And then he said, every time I want to play a board game with my family, my mother takes blue, which means I can't have my favorite color. So now I'm forcing my favorite color to be yellow.
Okay, listen.
Wow.
My favorite color growing up was blue, but my mother's favorite color is blue. So anytime we played board games together, I wasn't allowed to have blue, so I just took whatever color because my dad's favorite is red, my mom's favorite is blue, and those are in every board game.
Mhm.
So I changed my favorite color to silver. That didn't work out at all because that's never in any board games either. And so then I changed it to
How about you
yellow.
play Monopoly?
Yeah, but
Everything's silver.
I don't play Monopoly with my parents because
You don't want to be disowned.
the incident. All right. So we talked about Super Smash Bros. That was good. Now we're gonna talk about Pokemon, and this is where we get the drama. This is where we can put it on the thumbnail. Hashtag falling out.
Ooh.
All right. So Tboni, when did the Pokemon franchise fall off?
Oh, that's gonna be fun. I would say it started after Black and White. You know, that's when they started like branching out to like going from 2D to 3D. So it was like the weird transition between Black and White to X and Y. X and Y was okay. It just felt like it was a bit unfinished, and then that kind of just snowballed into Sun and Moon, which was okay as well. But as soon as it started going to the Switch console, like Sword and Shield, and especially Scarlet and Violet, that's where it's just definitely starting to fall out. They did kind of bring it back with Legends Arceus. I'm kind of hoping they're gonna do the same treatment with Legends ZA, but definitely, I would say it's most notable with Sword and Shield at the very latest.
Oh god. I was trying to look up a nice, neat list of all of the generational gimmicks. So like Z moves, Terrastalize.
I can tell you all the gimmicks.
Oh, I can name them off too. There's Mega Evolution, there's Z moves, there's Terrestrialization.
Gen 2 brought in held items. Gen 3 brought in natures and double battles. Gen 4 brought in... God, I think Gen 4 just did like, hey, here's evolutions for older Pokemon.
Basically, but they did a lot in the story for that one too.
Yeah. Gen 5 brought in hidden abilities. Also it brought in an actual story. Gen 6 brought in Mega Evolution, Gen 7 brought in Z moves, Gen 8 brought in Dynamax, and Gen 9 brought in Terrestrialization.
Okay, one quote-unquote controversial thing about me, too, regarding Pokemon. I would definitely see Smash for a majority of the villains.
Smash.
I'm just saying.
Cynthia. No, Cynthia isn't a villain. Lusamine.
Smash.
Smash.
Ah, you people are
Giovanni.
Yeah. I'm like, honestly, the Mafia AU sounds kind of nice.
You know what? I'm just gonna say it. Archie, especially the redesign.
Yes! Yes, she gets it! Maxie is okay, he's just definitely
He's just a nerdy little bitch boy. He's a bottom.
Yeah.
What is the word I'm trying to say? Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire did a lot of things right.
Oh, absolutely. I hate to admit, I was definitely the youngest sibling, so I would just kind of like watch my brothers play Pokemon like over their shoulders, but my first Pokemon game was Omega Ruby.
I started in Gen 1.
I would definitely say Lysander. Lysander is really cool.
Lysander.
Volo. I'm definitely going to get canceled for saying this, but he's literally Cynthia, but better.
Cynthia,
He's Cynthia, but he cheats
bad guy.
too.
Okay.
I don't know how to say it, but he's definitely Cynthia, but better. In Pokemon Masters, like, he was actually stronger than Cynthia for a while too, and I firmly will say this: if they put held items in Legends Arceus, you would be fucked.
Yeah.
Like, in the final fight against him, he would fuck you up.
All right, babe, open that up. We got to make a tier list of the Pokemon gimmicks that I care about real quick. I definitely wasn't spending this entire time you guys were talking trying to find a tier list for this.
I just want to say real quick, going back to when you said Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, I don't think that, like, yeah, it was scuffed, it was rushed. The main complaint that people had was the graphics. They didn't like the chibi. I thought it was cute because it was reminiscent of the overworld, where you're like chibi in the overworld, and then in battle you look normal.
I thought it was fine. I feel like they should have like incorporated like the bigger models and like make them more like cutscenes rather than just like bubbles of dialogue.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But for what it was, I didn't mind it too much.
All right. So we're gonna go through a tier list really fast. We have S, A, B, C, and D. All right. For all the gimmicks. So I'm just gonna go through my thoughts on them real quick because my opinion is the most important, and then we'll move on. And then we'll move on to like you guys saying where you want them. So Mega Evolution. I think that if they did this perfectly where everyone got one, it would easily be S. But because of the fact that it is just a gimmick so that Charizard can have 2 new forms and Mewtwo can have 2 new forms, and there are definitely definitely Pokemon that deserved Mega Evolutions, like the Ground Dragon. Flygon didn't get a Mega Evolution, which means that this is D. I think Mega Evolution could have been really cool, but the fact that only popular Pokemon got it, I hate it. The next one is Gigantamax. Same problem with Mega Evolution, D.
It's definitely a special form thing.
Yeah. Strong in the fast.
I would make that an A, personally, just because, every Pokemon gets that. It's just the gimmick for getting the move mastery for it, especially since some of them are level based. Sometimes you have to get like an item for it. It's just mainly the grinds that will mess with that.
I never played Legends, so I was just gonna say S.
Z moves.
Z moves.
Popular Pokemon got
animations.
Popular Pokemon got specific Z moves, but everyone could use the regular ones.
Have
you seen the thing with like the fairy type Z move and then
Xerneas
stick?
Yeah.
I think that Z moves were a fun gimmick. I don't understand why you lose your held item for them. That's the only part of it that makes me like not want to put it in S. I just don't get that.
I would say A, maybe high B.
Oh my, what is this?
This is the Z move.
Twinkle Tackle.
Yeah, look at how shitty the animation is.
Yeah, they do look horrible. Oh my.
That's why I'm thinking like A, maybe high B, just because of the animation.
Yeah, I'd definitely say B. My favorite Z move is definitely the Eevee one, where all of the evolutions come out.
Boost.
Yeah, I love that one.
Dynamax.
S. I love Dynamax so much. You don't lose your held item. Every Pokemon gets one. It was perfect.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And terrestrialization.
I would say A. No, I actually have to say S, just because you can actually change your Pokemon's type, and then it added another whole feature to strategizing for Pokemon, because you don't know what their next type is going to be, especially when they do like the blind reveal battle format.
You could do Bolt Beam on a lot more Pokemon. And also, terrestrializing lasts the whole battle instead of just 3 turns like Dynamax.
Terrestrialization was a really cool idea, but in the same way with Mega Evolution, I think the implementation of it was really bad. When the game first came out, my biggest problem with it is when you fight the bug-type gym leader, the final Pokemon is Teddy Ursa, and then it terrestrializes into a bug-type. I don't really like that for the gym leaders. It just wasn't that fun of a gimmick for me.
I thought it was interesting, but they could have implemented it implemented it a bit
Yeah,
better. The only
If
one
they
that
did, like,
had a good
address
way
it
was
Pokemon that changed.
yeah, the best one was Iono having a Mismagius that terrestrialized into an electric type, because then it had no
Mhm.
weaknesses.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and
Like,
then
if they did more with strategy on that, that would have been
Yeah.
amazing.
So where you put in terrestrialization.
and then another problem with
Hmm.
terrestrialization comes from the fact that you can change it, but because for some reason the people who make Pokemon decided that getting a correct quote unquote Pokemon is too easy now, because they made IVs changeable, they made EVs fixable instantly, they changed a lot of stuff to make it work. You can get hidden nature super fast, so they decided, yeah, you need 500 shards to change your Pokemon's
50.
Terra type or whatever, yeah. And getting them is super annoying, unless of course you show up every time they hold an event where they give you like just enough to fix one Pokemon. That was super annoying.
Or if you're lucky enough for the Blissey Terra rates, where instead of getting 1 per, you'd get 5.
I beg to differ with the Pokemon Lotto thing. You get a shit ton of Terra Crystals from it.
Okay, but before the DLC came out, because that's the second DLC.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's also very fair.
Before even the first DLC, so base game and first DLC, it was drip fed to you. If you completed the Pokédex for Kitakami, then you get the charm that made you get double the Terra Shards as rewards. But even then, it's still slow.
Like, it's easy, but it's with a paywall. I definitely do understand that.
They had to make a whole chart for it. Let me see if I can find it real quick while you guys keep yapping.
I also remember the joy of you like made a team for your brother, and your like brother told you a Terra that they wanted, and then as soon as you finished getting the shards for it, they went, oh no, wait, I need you to change the Terra type, because it turns out the information from the last tournament that I went to, actually it's better to have them be this type instead of this type. And you went, oh, I have to farm this all again.
Yeah. It could have been a lot better on changing Terra types, but...
And then the last reason why I don't think that it'll ever be S is Stellar Terra exists now, so there's just no point in choosing anything else.
Well, yes, there is. Stellar Terra does not change your type. Wait.
Yeah, it keeps your original typing of the last move you used, or the move that you're using with it. However, if you want to change it to a completely different type of a move that you don't even have or cannot have, it definitely is still advised to use like the original base ones.
The Stellar has no defensive properties. They keep their original defensive typing. It gains an attack boost for every move type, but only once per type. 2 times for the original and 1.2 for every other type, including Stellar. So a Pokemon that was like a coverage-based one would be really good for it. Or, you know, the Pokemon that it was designed for, Terapagos. Because then it would get Stellar Starstorm.
I think terrestrialization was just implemented poorly. I think the idea behind it, if they got rid of a lot of the annoying stuff, was fine. Then they added Stellar, and it just made me hate it even more. And the last crime against it that's also unforgivable, they killed Protean for it.
Yeah.
They just removed Protean for some reason. And I'll never forgive them for that. And for that, it's D.
Okay.
Where does Mega Evolution go for you, by the way, Tboni? Because I just put that in D when you didn't really say anything about it.
I would kind of put Mega Evolution at like a B, honestly. Like, it's a good gimmick. However, if they could just add a little bit more, like, at least just add it to all the final evolutions that are going to be in a game.
I found it really funny that in X and Y, Charizard was the only Gen 1 Pokemon to get it, and Blastoise and Venusaur didn't get it until Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire.
I know, the bias is totally not there.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think the same with Blaziken, too.
Oh, to be clear, my opinions about Pokemon are always going to be wrong because I hate legendaries, I hate mythics, and I hate the starters.
Mhm.
Every time I get a starter, I just wait until I catch a Route 1 Pokemon and then just throw away my starter. Anytime I'm not doing a like specific challenge run of like only beating a game with Steel or Bug.
Depends on what game I'm playing.
Yeah, because there's a couple of starters that I like. I really like Cyndaquil, Snivy, Fennekin, and Weedcat Sprigatito.
I could actually go through all the generations and tell you exactly which Pokemon I would select. There's literally only one Pokemon that I would select that would be a fire type. Everything else is like kind of fairly even between water and grass.
Mhm.
Well, go for it. You can't tease us with it.
I would do Squirtle, I would do Chikorita, I can't pronounce. I would do Trico, I would do Piplup, I did Snivy, I did Froakie.
Hmm.
Trying to think. That's where I did Litten for my fire type. I did Sobble, I did Quaxley.
Oh my god, we found someone, a real person who picked Quaxley. Oh my god, I can't believe it.
Damn.
Yeah, I actually picked Quaxley.
We found the one Quaxley fan.
What's Chikorita's final evolution called?
Meganium.
Meganium.
Are you excited for the Mega Meganium?
Mega Meganium.
Oh my god.
Oh my
yes.
god. Mega Meganium. I don't think they can call it anything but that.
What's everyone's favorite Mega Pokemon?
Sceptile.
Really?
Gardevoir.
Well, yeah, of course yours is Gardevoir. What about Mega Sceptile?
Dragon.
It has a big old dragon, and its tail turns into a tree that shoots.
Christmas tree.
My favorite Megas, the Megas that I have used in my time of trying to quote unquote. I had a friend in high school who was a quote-unquote professional Pokemon player, so he would test teams against me, but I really like gimmick bullshit. So the Megas that I used were Mega Sableye, Mega Gengar, but then I got banned from using Mega Gengar because I used it to like put you to sleep in the Dream Eater, but apparently that's not okay to do. And
Yeah,
Mega
it's very frowned
Scizor.
upon.
And Mega Scizor, who was my bug team. I switched from Mega Gengar to Mega Sableye, and oh my god, it's so funny.
I have a very evil Vaporeon that can heal 3 times in one turn at least.
Oh. I liked Mega Blaziken as well.
Like, normally whenever I'm in, like, a crunch for, like, I'm really struggling with a fight and whatever, and if I can transfer this Vaporeon over, I will transfer her over. And this was before the Vaporeon meme ever happened.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
Jolteon is my favorite Pokemon. He's my smarky little boy.
That's fair. I have a least favorite Pokemon, and it's Audino.
Pelipper.
What? What did Pelipper do?
Anytime I was playing Omega Ruby and anytime I was in the water, like, every other pixel I would go across, it would be a Pelipper encounter.
That's fair.
Stunfisk. I hate Stunfisk.
Oh god. So I have horrible shiny luck.
Bullshit.
The way, hold on. So from the point of getting into Emerald in high school to the point when we started doing challenge runs where we're only allowed to use shiny Pokemon. So we would
don't even want to know my shiny luck. I have a tendency to have very I don't want to like, trigger anything, but I would have a lot of shinies that would just faint themselves. And it all started when I was playing Ultra Sun. I had a random encounter with the storyline Ultra Beast plus Cephalon.
Oh no.
It was a shiny one. I was trying to hit it, not knowing its moveset at all, like dwindle down its health, and it self-destructed.
I guess you could say your mind was blown.
Audino was the only shiny I had for years. I never, like, everyone says, oh yeah, when you go through Pokemon, like a full game of Pokemon from beginning to end, you should see at least like 1 or 2 shiny Pokemon. Audino was the only shiny Pokemon I had seen for years. When we got Scarlet and Violet together, after the game ended and we were looking at our stats and stuff and looking at our teams, she looked at her thing and she was like, oh, I saw like 5 shinies this game. And you had only caught like 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And we looked at mine and it went 0. And she was like, that's not supposed to happen. So all I was thinking was, the only shiny I've ever seen was an Audino. And so yeah, I hate Audino.
Wow.
And then we decided to do a full shiny team where we were only allowed to catch the Oh god. Sorry, continue.
Speaking of shinies, I'm actually working on a quote-unquote cult of people that have shiny Iron Valiant. So if you would like one, just let me know and I can grab one for you.
I think you gave me one. I'd have to check, but I'm pretty sure you gave me one.
I don't like Paradox Pokemon. I think they should go in a fire and die.
I think that the future ones were like poorly designed.
If they were a little more creative with the names as well as some of the shinies, like the shiny Iron Valiant one actually looks pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's the only one.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is chrome in the future.
Yeah. Yeah, if they were just a little more creative with like the colors and the names, that would be the big thing with that one. But
Yeah.
I'm like, who doesn't like the they them Gardevoir Gallade?
I think my problem is the only time you hear about Paradox Pokemon, from my experience, is either they're the most broken thing in existence or they don't matter at all. There was never a like middling Paradox Pokemon.
Sandy Shocks.
Is their stat line like, wasn't their stat line like close to mythical?
Their stat lines, I think they were all
They're
like
Suedo legendary, right?
No, they were like 570 for most of them and 590 for the other one. Or it was 540 and 570. I can check.
Like Fluttermane. You don't hear anything about Fluttermane other than, oh my god, it destroyed competitive Pokemon for years.
Yeah, I remember hearing that too.
Oh, and also my favorite types are Steel and Bug. So having an entire group of robot Pokemon where none of them count as Steel, and you're on it right now. The fighting type
Slitherwing.
The fighting type, yeah, Slitherwing. The fighting type oh god, Firebug. What's his name? My favorite boy.
Volcarona.
Volcarona. And it's not a bug type. I lost my mind. Oh god.
I
Who's
do like
ever
that there
seen
were some
Iron Juggles?
pseudo legendaries that they turn into the Paradox Mons, and they don't have they have lower stats. What was Frigabax the next one?
Baby. What's your favorite typings in Pokemon Tboni?
Okay, Psychic, Ghost, and Dark.
Psychic, Ghost, and Dark. How do you feel about Darkrai?
Edgelord. Not honestly, I'm here for it. Like honestly.
Okay, yeah, I was right. It's 570 for most of them, and then there's a couple of special ones where they're 590, like Iron Valiant and Roaring Moon.
Okay.
Do you like Haridon or Maridon more?
I liked Maridon mainly because Koridon was okay. It was definitely very yabba dabba doo, which is also pretty endearing in its own. But I like Smooth Ride Bike Dragon, especially because I also recently gotten my Class M when the game came out as well.
I need to get my motorcycle license. But also I don't think I can ride one with my legs being all messed up like that.
Oh, I promise you, there are a lot of people with fucked up legs that still ride bikes.
Yeah, I really want to get a moped. Anyways.
Oh yeah, right. We were supposed to go back to the interview.
Much fun, babe.
Yeah, that's right. We're having too much fun. So what movies do you like? Like what genre, or do you have favorite movies?
Ooh, okay, that's It's been a minute.
Since you've seen a movie?
You skipped a question.
What games do you dislike to stream?
But are you a
what games
part
you
of
dislike.
any fandoms?
Yeah, I asked that.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like 40 minutes ago.
Huh. My brain shut down. I'm sorry.
What movies do I like?
What movies
I've
do you
definitely
like?
noticed I kind of lean more towards like any movies that are like animated, and I prefer like the 2D animated style too. Like honestly, I like a lot of the anime movies. Oh god, what's the name? What's the one?
Ghibli.
Yeah, Ghibli's very nice. I'm trying to think of the one recent one I saw. Musume, I believe.
What? Do you know the name of the main character?
That is the name of the character. I gotta look it up real quick.
Musume movie, Night at the Museum.
Uma Musume.
No,
Pretty
hang
Derby.
on.
Beginning of a new era.
Yeah, all I'm getting is Uma Musume, Pretty Derby.
Bidly.
Suzume.
Sus.
Oh.
Oh. So you pretty much just watch animated movies?
Not just. It's just that's kind of like what I lean towards preferences, at least. Like the ones that I enjoy.
Okay.
There are some live action ones that are still pretty enjoyable. It's just again I haven't seen a lot of movies lately. I hate to say it, but I work a lot.
And also movies are really bad recently.
Yeah.
I lean
Chicken
towards
jockey.
like musicals, rom-coms, and action movies.
Very nice.
I just haven't seen a lot of anime or like anime-inspired movies. Babe, what movies do you like?
I don't really watch movies much anymore.
Have you heard the announcement for the Legend of Zelda movie?
Ah, no, you got me off. No. Oh, yeah, are you excited about the Legend of Zelda movie?
Not
Live
really.
action?
Not really.
I can't wait for Jack Black as Link to go, I am Zelda.
I know, that's why I'm like I'm skeptical about it. That's why I'm like, okay, what do you guys
I'm hesitantly optimistic.
Yeah, that's the way to put it.
Because I wasn't too stoked on Chris Pratt being Mario, but I think he did a decent enough job. Jack Black was good as Bowser, but I think that's because we couldn't see him doing all of his antics.
Yeah, it's definitely they're doing a lot of big name people
Yeah.
for actors, and I'm like, honestly, just give
I'm-
us some people that actually look like the characters, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, and a lot of the big names, they're like, they don't really act like the character, they act like themselves playing a part, and I just don't really vibe with it. So I'm hoping that they do a better job with the Zelda movie. The Mario movie was fine. I really enjoy the Sonic movies. So
Honestly, the big saving grace with the Sonic movies was the fact that Jim Carrey was Robotnik, especially whenever the first trailer came out.
On Jim Carrey as Robotnik. I think especially for the third movie, it was not his best work. But
I haven't seen the third one, so I can't
But for
say what's
the first and second one were fine because he was just like a little goofy guy, and then in the third one he was just way over the top.
If I would rank the Sonic movies, I would definitely say my favorite is 3, second favorite is 1, and then my third favorite is 2. I'm not a big fan of the second one.
I don't even remember what happened in the second. Oh right, the second one was Sonic versus Knuckles. Yeah, that left like no impression on me. So I'd probably agree with your ranking. But it seemed like the third one just like really tried to force in some references, and I just
I really liked the third one. I'll say if you're on the fence about seeing it, I definitely see it. If you can somehow figure out how to get a boat, like a nautical license, and figure out how to receive it for free, I'd say it's definitely worth it. Don't pay someone like $50 to see it though.
yeah. That was a good one, babe.
Thanks, I try. Oh god.
Oh god.
Is she here?
Tboni?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, all right.
I was just kind of listening.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
I haven't heard the animals in a while.
Oh, they're around. They're sleeping. Let me go grab Ruby real quick, and I can definitely show her off.
That's fair. Do we want to talk about like the reality of what the movies are probably going to be, or do we want to talk about the best version of a Legend of Zelda movie?
Why not both?
Because they're entirely
That
different.
they do an iteration like regarding like Skyward Sword, because that would definitely be a good way to get everybody in on what the hell is going on with the series, because it's the start of the timeline. You at least will learn about all the reincarnations.
So we want to talk about fantasy.
The last I heard about it, they said that they were wanting to do, like, akin to Ocarina of Time.
That might also apply as well. If they can, like, sprinkle in some features from other games, too. Like, at least the earlier ones of the timeline, again, lean a little bit towards Skyward Sword so people can know why the reincarnation is happening if they want to do more movies regarding The Legend of Zelda.
So
Well, I mean,
guys want it to be like the story of a game told in a movie.
Yeah, essentially.
Basically.
So
or
that's
like a
not
retelling of
happen.
Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen. It's gonna be in a similar way to Mario, where like, why does Mario have to be a real person in the real world who gets isekai'd into the Mario world? Why couldn't Mario just be in the Mushroom Kingdom existing as Mario does, instead of adapting the TV show that came out a long time ago where he's actually a plumber? Like, it's gonna...
Because how else would they explain it? Like, Princess Peach showed up in the Mushroom Kingdom as a baby, and they decided to make her the princess. She's the only human. And then Mario and Luigi show up, and they're also humans.
I think it would be better. That's why, like, I think it would be better if it was, quote unquote, just an adaptation of the games. But it's gonna be this thing where, like, everything is explained to you in the first 5 minutes, and then they're just gonna rehash it for the next, like, hour and 10 minutes that the movie's actually playing.
I think they were just trying to set up for a sequel.
For the Mario movie?
Yeah.
No. I think that's just generally how, like, Hollywood sees these kind of things.
Hard to say.
Like, do you want Link to have the Master Sword in the first 10 minutes of the movie or the last 10 minutes of the movie?
I'd say somewhere in the middle, honestly.
Yeah, somewhere in the middle.
You know,
Kind of like what happened in Hyrule Warriors, where he's just like a knight on a mission. He gets the Master Sword and he gets really cocky, and then he realizes, oh shit, I'm not the hot shit like I thought I was.
I still have some weaknesses here.
Yeah, exactly. So it'd be a good way for him to become more powerful, but also to discover more weaknesses. Once I understood the weakness of my flesh, I knew how much it disgusted me.
Do you think Navi is going to be in the movie?
Kinda hope so.
Oh my god, probably.
How many times do you think Navi is going to say, hey, listen in the movie? Because that's a really popular thing about that character.
I'm hoping maybe just once as a reference to it, and then she just becomes a guide. Honestly, I think the best thing they could do would be to keep Link as a mute and have Navi talk for him.
You know that's never going to happen. They're paying big money for a famous actor to play as Link, so of course Link is going to talk in the Legend of Zelda movie.
Well, excuse me, princess.
Oh, well, they're definitely going to do that.
They're definitely going to do that.
Do you want Zelda in the Legend of Zelda movie, or do you want Zelda to be saved at the end?
It can't be a Legend of Zelda movie without Zelda. So maybe if it were to be following Ocarina of Time, he meets her when they're both kids, and she's like, hey, this guy's evil. I need you to go do this, 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 and this. And then she gets kidnapped. I don't know.
If I had to just make the longest shot of my life, I think it's gonna be a movie about... I don't think it's gonna be an isekai. I think they will actually start in the Legend of Zelda universe, because they don't have any reference to like a Mario who exists in the real world and then gets isekai'd into it. I think it's gonna be like Link is just a kid, and he's gonna be working on a farm, and like bokoblins or something are gonna show up and be like, oh my god, the town's in danger. And then he's gonna fight against people, and then he's gonna find a tree that's dying, and it's gonna be like, oh my god, Link, it's you, finally, the hero who will save the princess. You have to save her. And he'll have like
Oh.
a kid sidekick and like a girl there, and they'll go on an adventure and they'll discover the Triforce and what it means to be truly brave and the power of friendship. And then they'll get the sword at the end of it, and they'll save the princess, and then it'll cut to credits or something.
It needs to play like Eye of the Tiger or I'm
We're-
holding out for a hero.
We are not in that era anymore. They're
We
not going
are.
to play Eye of the Tiger.
They did it in the Mario movie.
Oh, how excited are you guys to hear the Legend of Zelda music? But like, you're gonna hear the first few notes of it, so you'll be like, "Oh my god, that's the Legend of Zelda music!" And then they're immediately gonna go into like an orchestral version of it, ruining the experience.
Zelda music as an orchestra is peak.
It-
They've done that
Actually,
multiple
already
times.
orchestral.
Yeah,
They're gonna make it worse.
I think Skyward Sword was almost completely orchestral.
It was actually.
Yeah, but we're not doing Skyward Sword, so it doesn't even matter.
Okay, whatever you say.
They're just gonna play a worse version of the song. All right, that's all I'm saying. Like, have you seen the Mario movie, Tboni?
I have.
You know how they did the like Minecraft overworld music for like 2 seconds and then immediately went into the worst version of the song?
What?
You don't remember this.
Oh, in the
You
Mario
were talking
movie.
about Mario.
Yeah.
Why'd you say the Minecraft music?
I'm sorry, Minecraft. I meant
Yeah.
Minecraft. Have you seen the Minecraft?
I like how they
movie?
did the Mario Brothers from the cartoon. That was pretty peak. I liked that.
The Mario movie is on the better end of video game adaptations, I'd say. I still don't think it's like good enough.
I think the Mario movie is the middle point, Sonic is top, and Minecraft is bottom.
Hmm.
Maybe like between middle and top for Mario movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think Sonic 3 is definitely where I would want movies to go. Because that is genuinely an adaptation of Sonic Adventure 2.
Forced in, but yeah.
I love that. So, yeah.
Well, don't ruin it for Tboni.
This has been known. Oh, yeah.
She hasn't seen it
Don't yell at
though.
me.
Don't be
So, yeah.
mean.
I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it.
If they do just straight up adapt one of the games, then it'll be peak, obviously. But I don't think it's gonna. Because that's just kind of how Hollywood does things, and it upsets me greatly.
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh no, you're yawning. No.
I'm sorry.
Alright.
I always yawn when I stream.
Like, I can't do what times do you stream. And I can't ask you what you're gonna change considering you're still setting up for your stuff. Which means that this is the natural endpoint of the interview. We had way too much fun.
We enjoy yapping.
The yappening was
Mhm.
quite enjoyable.
The yappening of the Yap Fest.
I am planning on when I do start streaming. I'm kind of thinking like 8 p.m. EST, so that'd be 7 p.m. for you guys.
Okay. Do you have
Potentially.
Then I
can
could
you say
probably write
again
into
what
you.
time were you thinking of, like what the time frame is for when you think you're gonna start streaming?
I'm kind of thinking when I do start streaming, it's gonna be like 8 p.m. EST to maybe 10, maybe 11 p.m. depending on how things go.
I mean, like when you're gonna like start streaming, like when you get the stuff set up, like 6 months to a year. You said.
I'm shooting for somewhere between like 6 months to a year. I do have a couple other things that I'm working on in the background.
We will be waiting with bated breath.
With bells
Oh,
on our
thank you.
toes.
Oh, thank you.
Was there anything else you wanted to say to the Annadelna Rat Conclave?
Enclave.
Honestly, thank you for having me. You guys have been awesome to chat with. We've just been yapping a lot about like fandoms and everything, and it's honestly just amazing.
I will say that Tboni is an amazingly talented artist.
We did not go into artistry at all.
We did not. My Discord icon, I have changed it. I asked her if she could draw me as a Xenoblade character, and she did the line art, and I colored it. And, well, I also touched it up a little bit. Because there were like a couple of spots where the lines didn't meet, and it just bothered me.
Yeah, I basically did like a little like refined sketch. It wasn't actually like line art, but then yeah,
and I love it. It looks so good. She's done a lot of other art, like the stuff that I've shown of Ricky T-Bones, things like that. So if you have a chance, follow her on Blue Sky. She does have a YouTube channel that I've seen, but she doesn't post anything to it, I believe.
Do you?
Not
If
yet.
you're
I will
planning on
eventually.
if you're planning on keeping that, then you should be able to click on her name and the title,
Mhm.
and it'll go to your channel.
Do you do, or are you planning to do commissions?
Oh, I do actively do commissions right now.
Thank
I have been in like a small hiatus, but I am slowly getting myself back on track. I have a Ko-fi, and you can actually see all the stuff I've got. I will actually see about dropping the link here in like 2 seconds.
Do you have a preference for what you do commissions for?
I kind of do a variety of things. I mainly just do like a lot of like still images. I can do illustrations. I do hope eventually when I do get like a major hardware upgrade that I can dabble in some animation as well.
Okay. I said this to Glitched Phantom, because I think artists deserve more than everyone else in this world. I think that so if you're doing your art as your content, and I think that's very special, a kind of thing. I think a really cool idea is like at the beginning of a month, start something where people can buy like raffle tickets. And so you do your regular content of doing whatever you want to do, but over the month you're like working on one specific thing. And as the month goes along and the raffle tickets start piling up, at the end of the month, you can take that thing and just kind of go like, all right, we're going to spin the raffle now, and whoever wins it gets the art. So it's a nice way where everyone can get involved monetarily, so people can buy the raffle tickets for cheap, but enough of them come in that you can quote unquote live off of it eventually. And it's not a thing of like, because like the only options of selling art is like either people buy the art from you. So if someone wants like a picture, you're sending out like 100 pictures. Whereas with a raffle, 100 people buy the raffle ticket, and you only have to make the one thing. Because like I worry a lot about artists like quote unquote sewer sliding themselves by inundating themselves with so much work to try to keep up with like traffic. So I would definitely say, if you plan on selling art in any way, definitely make sure that it's like the quality of this one piece that people are fighting over, rather than having to make the quantity of a bunch of pieces for everyone to like fight into. Yeah, that's it. That's all. I just wanted to just keep your own safety of your like physical and mental health in mind, especially when going into like making money off of art and that kind of thing.
Ropey? do you hear that tapping?
Yeah.
That was her lifting her food bowl up and down to be like, hey, there's no food here.
Of course.
Oh, I thought it was a murder attempt.
I like the picture of Rufus wearing the goggles. That was really cute. Do you take him on motorcycle rides?
I do not actively, just because I don't have a motorcycle, but I could definitely see him being a motorcycle puppy. He actually gets mad at me if I don't dress him up and take him to the park.
Oh.
Because like if I take him to the park and he's not dressed up, he's like very pouty, very upset.
But yeah, what I was saying earlier, if you guys get a chance, check out Tboni's Ko-fi, her Blue Sky. I will link your Ko-fi in the description.
Okay.
Just so if there's any VOD viewers, they can take a look at that.
Oh, here's a good way of asking this. Do you have any planned, like, show up on other people's channels soon, or...?
At the moment, there's not a lot. There is something in the works for a potential another Four Swords collab with another group of people. If you've heard of Project Chaos, I'm gonna be potentially playing with Cynical, Rady, and then Ricky.
Okay. Well, if people want to see you, you'll be there next, and it'll be Peak, as always. Peem, if you will.
Peem.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Wrap this up. We had too much fun.
We did have a lot
Thank
of
you
fun.
for coming to... I forgot to say like, comment, and subscribe at the beginning.
You've done
of
this like 5 times in a row.
I can't do it anymore. I can't. I don't know what I'm doing.
Christ.
And like, comment, and subscribe to make me feel better. If you're already subscribed, I just want to say, you know how when you click on YouTube and you see all the videos that you're going to click, if you actually click that thing at the top left where it looks like a burger, you can click that and then go to the subscribe tab and you can see all the people you're actually subscribed to, and maybe, you know, click on some Annadelna videos, you know? Those are cool.
Well, since he's done being a dork, I greatly appreciate you being here, Tboni. It's always a pleasure to have you around and interact with you. I love hearing the noises from your animals. It makes me happy. And I hope your stuff is going well. You said that you were moving before, so I hope that that is going well.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, we gotta play more games soon.
Oh, absolutely. I'm so down.
Are you Marvel Rivals build?
I would love to be, but I need a better PC for it.
That's fair. I also hate Marvel Rivals.
Strange creature. Do you have anything else you'd like to say, Tboni?
Mainly for the viewers, just live your best life. Don't be a dick. And just enjoy hanging out with everybody.
Words to live by.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Okay. All right. Bye. We're so
Goodbye.
good at ending these episodes. Goodbye.